so bad. And I wanted to talk to you about the rest of what happened yesterday, because I didn't tell you guys that yesterday I went to the doctor's. I'm going, oh, okay, I didn't realize this, but there, that's better. I'm just so cold. God, that is annoying. I'm not really going to talk completely about like what happened yesterday, but I am going to talk about sort of a follow-on and stuff that I think I forgot to say yesterday. I'm wearing a sort of Christmassy outfit today. Right, let's see. I need a storage container. Oh, great, I don't have one. That's useful, isn't it? This one will do. That's just really useful, that is. I think I'm gonna wait for people to come on before I start talking. But anybody who doesn't come on can watch it afterwards in full detail. So I'm sorry that I look horrendous, but I've been advised not to wear makeup for the time being while my eczema is really bad. Oh, I've got a text, yay. Okay. Just okay, so she's replying to a text I sent earlier. Yeah, just wait for people to come on the stream and then I will talk about what I was going to talk about, what happened yesterday, before the incident with Morrison's, and something that was like a sign, and I know a certain someone would like to see it. My good friend, Sean. Sean's religious, so I think he would appreciate my little sign that I got. So today, I went out with Mum for an appointment. We had a bit of a rocky start, about, a bit of arguing before we went out, but it turned out to be a pretty good day. I enjoyed it because, well, I got to be warm at hospital, while I was waiting for her to have her appointment. So, I got to be warm for a few hours. And then after that we ate. I met a really nice woman at the cafe, because it turned out my mum had to wait about an hour before she was able to actually have her appointment. So I guess we both had to occupy ourselves while we waited. So I went to the Costa Cafe just to get a drink. My idea was I was going to get the drink and then, go back to the waiting room in the X-ray area. Well, I ended up sitting down. I ended up meeting a woman there. She was real nice. We had a lot of the same sort of views and stuff. Okay. So, Dean, I was worried that I upset you yesterday because of what I said. But I really do appreciate your nice comments that you said yesterday's stream. I was just upset, so just forgive me. I tend to say negative things when I was upset, but afterwards I was regretting it. I do that. Do you know that's the only thing that bothered me about yesterday's incident was how I reacted to it. As in, I got negative and I started saying negative things, and that's what bothered me more than the actual incident, because I don't really give a shit about what happened, because, whatever. Like, fuck them. I don't care. I mean, I don't care about, like, going there, because I've not been going there for that year and a half since the ban. It just annoys me about all, like, the injustice and the unfairness of the whole thing. And we're gonna talk a bit more about the unfairness, just as a matter of discussion. I'm not really ranting. I mean, it is kind of a rant, but I'm not bothered. Like, it's the next day. I'm not in it emotionally like I was. Like yesterday, I was upset, I was stressed, I was angry, I was frustrated. But now I'm kind of calm, more calm, and like not bothered about it. But I would like to discuss it more. As in just some little points that I forgot to mention yesterday. And if you remember, I said I was going to get to a certain point, but I never did. I can't remember what that was now, but I'm sure I'll remember. Okay. So we're going to go over the incident again. I'll be as quick as possible, but it might remind me of what I was going to say. So first of all, the incident in question that came up again yesterday happened a year and a half ago. Over a year ago, probably not quite half, but it was August 2021. And this woman claimed that the incident happened a few months ago. It happened a fucking year and a few months ago. Look. Okay? It's like, get over it. So, some of the way I act now is gonna... yeah. I'm wearing my green tights to be Christmassy. I didn't wear this today, unfortunately. I wore my grey leggings, which are very warm, but very, very warm. But I'm wearing this for you guys now to show my Christmassy outfit. I might wear this next time if it warms up a bit. And the grey waistcoat and the grey cardigan. But yeah, I think I'm just going to sit down for a bit. My mum's okay with that. Table's a bit crowded at the moment, but I'm too tired. I've been out today, so I always get tired when I go out, even though I've been mainly sitting. This whole temperature change thing is brutal. Oh, I'm supposed to wash my hands. So most people would say that this outfit is girly, but it's not. It's manly, because I'm wearing a tie and a shirt and a waistcoat and stuff. So as far as I'm concerned, it's manly. I don't care that I'm wearing shorts, it's manly. Apparently my wearing shorts means I'm a slag, apparently, everybody. Just thought I'd update you on what wearing shorts means. Apparently makes you a slag. Sorry, wearing shorts and tights makes you a slag, apparently. Because so far since I've been wearing tights and shorts a lot this year, and outfits like the one I'm wearing now with the shirt, tie, waistcoat, shorts and tights, I keep getting called a slag. I don't know how many times I've been called a slag or a hooker. Well, the first guy was an old guy who assumed I was a sex worker, he put it. Then I got called, oh, that's a hooker, by some little boy going past on his bike. And then I got called a slag by the security guard at Asda. And I've just been called a slag yesterday by one of these teenage boys that was passing me yesterday. So yeah, apparently I'm a slag now. Even though I'm a virgin, but apparently virgins can be slags. Who knew? It's like, you can't be both, like Piccolo. But of course, if they knew that, they'd probably rib on me for that as well. It's like, they rib on me for being a slag, but they'd also rib on you for being a virgin as well. It's like, again, which is it? Is it bad to be a virgin or is it bad to be a slag? Like, which is it? I don't know where they get my slag anyway. It's like so stupid. Do they even know what it means? Anyway, so washing my hands so that I can put my cream on. It's all sank in. Yeah, so I went to the doctors. I actually went to the doctors about my ear that's still blocked. It was infected. I had to have antibiotics and an ear spray for it. And apparently it's cleared up now. But she was more concerned, the doctor that is, she was more concerned about my eczema. Which I thought the doctor, you know, whichever doctor I went to see, I thought they might be. I had this feeling that, you know, whoever I saw was going to be concerned about it. Rightfully so, it has been really bad. There's nothing I can really do about it because, you know, it's due to the house being mouldy and stuff. Damp, whatever. Mouldy, damp. Both. so there's nothing I can really do about it. But it's not usually this bad. Like, it's so bad, even despite using steroid cream. Now, normally it clears up when I use steroid cream. So that's the unusual part of this particular time. Plus, you needed to vent a little bit, which I understand. I'm glad I could help. Yeah, it was good to vent. I like to vent. This is why I like to make videos. I like to make live streams, because I get to vent to people. But I get to vent to real people instead of just myself or writing it in a diary. Because I like to share my frustrations, because I think a lot of these things are unfair and injustice is being, is happening. So I like to talk to real people about this. I like to title my videos better so people know exactly what I'm talking about. So people who don't know, like people who these streams pop up to, that are like strangers, know what this stream is about, so they can say, oh, I'm interested in that. But I guess just hearing the title as it is now, people would probably skip it thinking that's going to be boring or whatever. And it's Fluffers. Oh, look how round he looks today. So cute, look at his paws. I shouldn't really touch him, because I think he's contaminated by the mold and damp right now as well. He stinks or something. This is the stuff I got. I got this ages ago. She was going to prescribe me some of this, and I said I've already got it. Now, okay. So I'm just going to tell you about this doctor's thing first before the incident happened yesterday. So again, we're going to reiterate it, but real quick, just to make my points, okay? So, first of all, the doctor's appointment. I was going to wait till Sean got on before I said, but if he comes on, I will just repeat it. So if I repeat it, don't worry, I'm just repeating it for Sean's benefit, because, I think he was a religious one, so he might appreciate this. Sometimes writing things down also helps. It sure does. Don't worry, I'll be getting to it all. I'm a bit far behind with my diary writing by several months. So I write it down in my day-by-day diary. I got a new one for this year, for next year, I mean. So I've got this one, and I've got the unicorn one for my actual journal. This one's a day-by-day diary, not a journal. Looks like one though. Okay, I'm gonna put some of this on. All right, it is really good. As soon as when I saw it, I just couldn't resist it. I thought it's beautiful. It's white and rainbowy, very nice. Okay. Right, so I went to the doctor's. She was concerned about my skin more than she was my ear. I thought she wasn't even going to check it at first. I thought if she forgets to check it, just sends me away with whatever advice or stuff for my skin. I would, remind her that she needs to check my ear. She said because my skin is very bad, she thinks that's why my ear has gotten infected. But my skin's been bad for, like, God knows how many years, and I've never had an infection anywhere. She asked if any part of my body was infected other than my ear. And I said no. And I've never had an infection. So she gave me this advice and things I could use and stuff. As in asking me if I've used them or if I'd consider using them. I said I've already had this, that, and the other, and I didn't like it. And she said about this one. So I said I've already got it. So she said, use this. Don't use the other stuff, which is this. This is what I normally use. She said she'd prefer me to use this, which is more... This seems more like an ointment. It doesn't... Actually, it does say ointment. It's an ointment. Doctor recommended. Fragrance free. Sure is. Just smell of something, but it's not fragrancy. It's like a nice clean smell. Just use this. So yeah, it's an ointment. Now I'm not really usually so fond of ointments, but I thought I'd try it. Seeing as how nothing else is working, I would, do it for a bit and see what happens. This must really give you a good barrier. So I've used it once today. Put the steroid cream over the top, like she recommended. Because usually what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to put the steroid cream on, then wait about an hour, then put the moisture cream on. But she recommended me doing this and then putting the steroid cream on after, which I did this morning. And I did it yesterday as well, at the night time. So, she put on more steroid cream, I think it was. She put on more steroid cream, a soap, and an ear spray she said that my infection had calmed down now. It had cleared up nicely. And she said she'd just give me an ear spray to get rid of the crap that's clogged up quite deep down. And she sent them all to the pharmacy that I nominated, which unfortunately is the one in Sainsbury's, which is Lloyd's. So I asked her if it's possible to change it, because I'm not going there at the moment. And she asked me why, I nominated them in the first place. I said it's because that's where I was going on a regular basis. So that was easier. But I asked her to change it to a different, more convenient one now, because I'm not going to Sainsbury's as much. It's more difficult for me to get there at the moment, because I was going there by taxi or walking, and then walking from Ashton to Sainsbury's, which I didn't really enjoy doing. So I stopped doing that. So I've changed it. I said in future, can it be sent to a different pharmacy? Seeing as I'm not going to Sainsbury's at the moment. And she said because it was sent there, plus my ear spray, she virtually begged me to go there today. Yesterday. Because I said, I'm going to Morrison's after this. The only reason why I was going to Morrison's was because it was more convenient, because I'd already paid a taxi to go there to the doctor's. So I didn't really want to, get a taxi to go the opposite way. I thought, Morrison's is easy. I can just cross the road and it's there. So I thought it's just quick and easy. But I wish I'd taken notice to her. Her virtually begging me to go to Sainsbury's that day was my sign I should have gone there instead of bloody Morrison's, and I wouldn't have had that problem. Because you can guarantee the next time we went to Morrison's, it would be with my mum. And if they'd have told me I was banned with my mum, my mum would have had something to say about it. Or maybe they wouldn't have bothered if my mum was there. And as it happens, my mum yesterday said she was going to suggest going to Morrison's today. You were going to go from Tameside Hospital to Morrison's today to eat. So if I'd have gone to Sainsbury's yesterday, I wouldn't have gotten banned, and we would have gone today. And I just, really curious to know how that would have played out had my mum been there. Because this is the weird part. This is one of the things I probably did mention it, but I didn't really emphasize, is that me and my mum have been now twice since the ban, by the way, which was, again, a year and a half ago. This year, in November, me and my mum went twice, and I've been alone twice. So that's 4 times that I've been supposedly still banned, and they didn't say out about it. See, that's the weird part. So that's one. And sometimes racing, I saw that bit. That's cool. I don't know what I'm referring to now. I hate this stuff, it's so gooey, but once I let it just settle, it feels quite nice. And it keeps my skin satisfied for a while. It's all sticky and gooey, I don't like it. Sticky. It is going on, but then after a while it's fine. The diary you showed, yes. Of course, I remember seeing you say that, and I did acknowledge it. Yeah, it was cool. I remember now. I thought it was a new message. I'm daft sometimes. So let's see, what else I say? Oh yeah, so I go there, And I'm gonna give them some credit though. They did say that they were gonna wait until I had finished eating before telling me I'm banned, instead of just like go in there and say, right, you're bad, out, you know, with my food. Like here, it would have gone to waste, it would have sucked. So I will give them credit that they did wait for me to finish eating first before they were gonna come and tell me I'm banned. But you know the weird thing, if I'd have not gone to the cafe checkout thing again to order another coffee, I wouldn't have known I was banned, you know, that was happening anyway. And I would have just gone about my day, gone and got a trolley and gone shopping. Because no one came for me. And I'm sure that woman wouldn't have, I don't know, maybe she would have, you know, sort of flagged me down to say you're banned, I don't know. I don't know what would have happened had I not gone to get another coffee. But anyway, so these are the things that I forgot to mention to yesterday. So remember what happened, okay? So about a year and a half ago, in August 2021, I was in Morrison's and I was live streaming, mainly myself. And this woman goes by, and I wasn't sure whether, if it might be a man dressed as a woman. I wasn't sure. Okay, so I muttered to myself, not to this person, I muttered it to myself very quietly. Oh, is that a man? I'm not sure. And they were quite far away when I said this. Quite far up the aisle. And I did notice when I looked at her that she turned round and went like that. But I didn't think anything of it. I thought, okay, she's heard me. She's gonna be a bit upset, but she's gonna move on. She's not gonna make a big deal out of it, because again, it's between customers, and I've not actually involved her as such. I've not actually confronted her and had a go at her. So I thought that was gonna be the end of it. Like, I've just said a curiosity. Fair enough. And then, I got to the checkout, and like, oh, that's the person that, like, whatever. Oh, that's her. I got a load of that, so I kind of panicked, because I thought, oh my god, what's this about? Like, I didn't really know what was happening. And I remember I wasn't banned. The security guard just said, it's all right. It's fine. Just don't record in future or you'll get banned, but don't record. Like, he just gave me a warning. He was nice. He was reasonable. I left, okay? I got my shopping and left. Came back the next week. Everything's fine. I shopped. Nobody said I was barred. But I made the mistake of getting the manager back just to explain my side of the story, so I wasn't made into an ogre. And it was after I explained my side of the story that, again, he didn't ban me. I went away. But then the week later I came back and 2 staff members said I was barred. So yeah, he never barred me, though. He never said I was barred, but they insisted that I was told the week before that I was barred. I was not. I was given a warning the week before that. Don't record again, or you're barred. That was it. And then when I got the manager back the following week, he just said what I said was offensive. So it's like, okay, I won't do it again. Fair enough. It's all good. I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to live stream or record or say anything about anybody again. So I thought that was the end of it. But then to find out I was barred, I didn't even call someone a name. So I'm not even going to say that. I just said, is it or isn't it a man dressed up like a woman? Because if it was, that was cool. But they acted like it was offensive and transphobic. A transphobic would be saying something like, oh my god, is that a man dressed as a woman? Oh, that's disgusting. You should not be dressed as... that is more offensive, but I didn't do that. It was just a wonderment, like, is it or isn't it? Just because I knew that this was being more common now. It was more commonplace that, men are transgendering to women and vice versa, or you've got butch women and more feminine men, like dressing more like, it's just like, it was just a curiosity, just because it's kind of still new to, this is all still very new to me. I mean, I knew it went on, but I've never like seen it, if you know what I mean. And I don't really judge it either. It's just, I'm just curious. It's just like a curiosity, a fascination. You can't ban me for just being curious. You can't say I'm being offensive or insulting for being curious. Anyway, so I thought that because a year and a bit had gone on, and possibly that manager had, been fired or quit or been transferred, which I heard he did. I thought that would be the end of it. They can't surely hold a grudge forever over such a minor incident. Again, if I'd have stole from the place, or I was like on a regular basis abusive, verbally abusive or physically, I could understand them banning me for life, but not for this. This is a minor. I'm sorry, I don't care what people say, it's a minor incident. And you can't ban someone. It wasn't an insult. I didn't insult anyone. I will keep saying it until I'm blue in the face. Sean, you're back. I was saying, that's crazy. And for something so trivial, it's an easy mistake to make. I can't believe that. I agree. I'm outraged. Sounds like you need to contact their head office, because I can't see how that is a reason to ban you. I agree with Dean. Raise it to those higher up with head office. They'll overrule the ban. I hope they do. My mum's already put it in place, don't you worry. As soon as, because at the end of, the conversation with that manager woman, I said, so, who's your head office person? And she told me to Google it. So my mum heard that on the phone, and she actually Googled it right there and then. And she found it, and she's actually written a letter. She was going to contact them, but she decided to write a letter instead. So she sent that off now. Hopefully everything will be fine. But you guys see how ridiculous it is. And maybe if like more backup is needed, you guys could help. It's a possibility. I'm not sure if you could, but if it's possible that, we need other people to testify that it's stupid. But I'm going to tell you the other unfairnesses and injustices now. So all that I've said is a recap of what's happened, just to clue anyone in who's not, or to remind people who forgot about some details. Okay, so I was trying to say to that woman, the woman who had a go at me, because it started out reasonable, but like I say, you should have seen her face. She was getting really hepped up and eyes bulging and everything. She was really getting upset. I think I would probably look calm compared to her. I was just like leaning on the counter, just like I was raising my voice a little, but not like a lot. Like she was getting really, she was like that, and I was just like, She was getting frustrated with me because she just seemed to be like really offended on this woman's behalf, on the trans woman, who by the way, she told me that that was a trans, male to female, which I didn't know. I didn't know that. That's why I was saying I was curious. Is it a trans female? That's what I was said when I said, is it a man? It's like I was curious as to whether it was a trans female. Well, I forgot. I mean, I did say that it was just me, I guess, having an opinion. But I didn't specify that it was me wondering. But she wouldn't let me finish anyway. She was going on and on and on and on with herself. And I was trying to say, now I have to go all the way from here to the other side of town virtually to get to another supermarket via taxi, which I'd have to pay for. So I was trying to tell her how convenient this was. Because I think that she should have let me just get a few bits this one more time before banning me. That's number one. Instead of sending me away, having to go basically inconvenience myself and, bankrupt me even more. By me having to take a taxi across town to another supermarket. In the end, I did decide to just go to the local shops to get some of the bits. I thought I could get the rest today or Thursday. So I was gonna go to Sainsbury's tomorrow. I'm not sure whether to do that. I'm gonna ask my mum if she wants to come with me, because she said she wants to go to Ashton anyway. So I'm gonna ask if she wants to come. But after today, I don't think she will. It might be too much for her to go out 2 days in a row in the cold. So she probably won't. She'll probably have to have a week to recover from this. Let's see. It's so rude to talk over you as well. My mum said that you know, she noticed that because she was on the phone. She noticed that that woman would not let me get a word in edgewise. There was loads of things I thought about that I should have said afterwards, as in this morning. I was thinking about it. Some of the stuff I thought about last night, and some of, because I didn't really think too much of it last night, to be honest, because I was busy watching. You probably hate this, Sean, if you know about this, but I was watching Dark Matters 2525's videos. It's a series called Power Corrupts, and I guess I've just been binge watching those videos. I know they're atheist related videos, but they're actually quite interesting. Although they've not sort of converted me over to atheism, I still find them interesting, as in a thought-provoking thing, and just a bit of entertainment, really. I told this to God. I said, don't worry, I'm watching Dark Matters videos, but I'm not an atheist, don't worry, I'm just curious and, watching it for entertainment, because they are very funny as well. Like, not the Dark Matter series, but not the Power Corrupt series, but a lot of the Dark Matter videos are very funny. It's like basically mocking some of the Bible stories and God's logic and reasoning for some things, and saying it in like a silly, stupid way, like some of the things that they seriously did say, but the saying is funny. It's just really funny. I just find it really funny. Like, when I first watched it, I thought they were religious videos, but like telling Bible stories in a comedic way. But I realized later on that it was like an atheist, like more atheist stuff. But I just find it really funny, that's all. And I love the God character and his like assistant called Jeffrey, the little winged cherub thing, who's always arguing and questioning God. It's just really funny. Their banter and everything's like just really funny. That's it, really. It really, it's funny. I don't think that, oh, ow, oh. The stories are interesting. He said he's going to turn them into a book. He said something about if his channel ever got deleted or whatever. I hope he's going to do something about the funny videos, because they are really funny. They're really funny. The funniest one of all I watched last night is called something like The Most Ridiculous or The Worst Battle or something like that. They are good, aren't they? I love them. I think they're a bit small though, but I like them anyway. I have never heard of it, so apart from all of that, are you okay? Just a bit tired, but yeah, I'm okay. Bless you, it's good that you are open-minded. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, it is really funny. I do like to see atheists' point of views as well, like watch atheist videos just to see their points of view on things, but it doesn't mean I'm one myself. I'm just open-minded, So not incredibly religious, but I do believe that it's a possibility that there could be higher forces than ourselves. Especially when there's so much evidence, at least presented to me. And a lot of people would just say it's coincidences, but some of these coincidences are way too coincidental for my liking to really be just dumb luck. Like the time my mum had the heart attack and died, and she was, she died for 7 minutes, and they couldn't get a heartbeat. But then I prayed for them to get a heartbeat, and then they did. Like, immediately after I prayed, they got one. And I'm like, atheists would go, oh, that's just coincidence. And I'm like, yeah, you can believe that if you want, but I think you're grasping at straws with that one. God, it's vibrating now. Oh my goodness. This is terrible. There's been quite a few things. I can't really think of all of them that seem like coincidences, but yesterday's thing of that doctor begging me to go to Sainsbury's and not Morrison's. It's like, dude, she's right. I should have gone to Sainsbury's instead of Morrison's. That was my sign. Because I could have avoided all that. Like, aggravation had I gone to Sainsbury's instead of Morrison's. And then the next time I went to Morrison's, I would have been with my mum. Oh, my ear is driving me insane. Mainly because when I talk, I can bloody feel the vibration in my ear sometimes. Ugh, that's the first time that's ever happened. I'm religious, but I'm not strict. Exactly. I mean, we've never gone to church, even though there's one right next door. Okay, what else was I gonna say? What else was I gonna say? I don't know if you guys know this about the story of last year, but a lot of you will, but the newer people won't. So that day that she heard me say what I said and got upset, she actually found my live stream, and that she actually harassed me on my channel and via something else as well. She made comments on my video, and she harassed me on Facebook or email or something. And I'm like, how did you get my details? How did you find out my YouTube channel and my details to contact me? So this woman who's acting the victim and complaining to the staff about me, she actually found me somehow, basically stalked me, and commented on my YouTube video. So I'm like, how did she find me? And a lot of people have been saying stuff like, oh, well, you know, it's on YouTube, it's on the internet, anyone can find it. But that would be, again, coincidental, like they came across my channel. But this woman found it instantly that the incident happened. I find that suspicious. She said, because I asked her, I said, how did you find my channel? And she just said, remember the victim, her supposed victim, she said she did her research. Which to me, that sounds like she fucking stalked me. You know, she's doing like a fucking, like those people do, like hackers, where they do whatever to find all your details so they can hack you. And stalkers do, like I say, they do whatever it takes to get your information going on nothing. Because she doesn't know me from Adam. As far as I'm concerned anyway, as far as I know, she doesn't know me from Adam. I didn't know her name, she didn't know mine, she doesn't know my nicknames, nothing. She doesn't even know I've got a YouTube channel, supposedly. But she found my channel the instant that incident happened. She told me that she did a research, which to me sounds like she was doing this research for quite some time, like a few days after to a week. But according to the manager of Morrison's, they were actually watching my live stream, and they saw the way I reacted when they all started saying, oh, that's the one who said this, that, the other. And I remember the manager said, well, you must be guilty because of the way you panicked when confronted by the staff plus that woman. And I'm like, well, yeah, of course I'm going to panic. It's human nature to panic when you see that there's an angry mob after you. It doesn't mean you're guilty just because you panicked when you're in trouble. It's like a dog panics when you start yelling at them. They don't know what they've done. They just know you're angry with them. They're not guilty. They don't feel fucking guilty. because they know they've done something wrong. They are just scared because they know that you're angry with them. So when I'm confronted at the checkout by this angry mob and someone pointed and said, "Oh, that's the one who did it," of course I'm going to react in a panicky way. I just know I'm in trouble and that I'm going to get at. I'm going to get people telling me off and shouting at me and stuff. So I was like, uh-oh. What's this about? And yeah, I did react on my stream that way, like, oh shit, whatever. But it's not because I know I've done something wrong. No, I don't. I didn't know what this was about. I just knew that there was an angry mob after me. That's all I knew. You don't have to be guilty of something to be scared or panicked or shocked when someone comes at you for whatever reason. You just know some kind of negativity is happening. That's it. It's like if I saw a big gang coming this way, because of all the experience I've had with, gangs of teenagers giving me hassle. Of course I'm going to panic when I see a gang of kids. It doesn't mean I think, oh, I'm guilty of something that they're going to have a go at me for. No! People get scared when they know that some negativity is going to befall them. And I've had so much negativity from people at the time, that particular year. I had lots of people coming at me for no reason at all. So because of all that happening, of course I was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble for something, Like I don't have to know that I'm guilty for something. I just know that something is amiss. And that I want to avoid it, but I couldn't because I had to go to the checkout. Of course, I had to put my stuff on the conveyor belt thing, and I was going to have to wait for the first person to be done, and then for the person to ring up my stuff, and then I was going to have to go through the crowd of nasties to get out. It's like I couldn't avoid them, and I thought, oh god, I'm going to get people bombarding me with shit. I just knew I was going to get shit. That was it. And yeah, that is creepy. Looks cool. No, the churchyard here is where all the kids hang out, so no, I wouldn't go there. That's not right. It's a flight response. And I knew that if I did the fight version, I was going to get more into deep water, so I panicked, and then I went to the checkout. And then the manager did come at me, and he obviously saw how panicked I was, because he did try and calm me down and say it's okay, sort of thing. That was his reaction. Now, I didn't get that on stream because I had stopped recording at that point. Streaming. I'd finish. Because even though he knew I was streaming, because apparently they were watching my live stream at the time, he acted like, like he asked me if I was recording. I was being accused of recording, and he asked me if I was. So I did tell him no, just because I knew, again, not because of the guilty thing, but because I knew how people respond if you sort of say you are recording. So I suppose it's better to tell the truth, but I just didn't want to make it worse, so I guess I said no. But I guess in that sense, you might say I wasn't recording, I was live streaming. It's two different things, even though it's similar. But he just said, don't record again or you'll get banned. He didn't say you are banned, he just said don't do it again. And he was only concerned about the recording, not the incident with the woman, with the victim, supposedly. Victim of what? I literally did nothing. I can't remember what I said to the security guard when he said that. Just said, well, obviously I'm going to act panicked because there's an angry mob waiting for me. And I didn't know what I'd done wrong. I just knew I was in trouble for something. So obviously I'm going to... And the reason why I probably panicked more than maybe most people would is because I get more trouble than most people, but for doing very little. Because of course, if I confess this kind of thing, like, oh, I get trouble all the time, or I get people accusing me all the time, or having to go at me all the time, I'm like, people just automatically assume, well, you must be doing something to upset people, and it's like, no, not well, yes, but not really. What I've actually done isn't that bad, but people make a big deal out of the stuff I do, like, you know, recording or live streaming. Heck, I've even been in trouble for being on a video call just because, you know, they could see people behind me. And that was again at Morrison's. I was on a, you know, a video call with a friend at Morrison's, and I will admit, I was showing him like what was happening behind me. And this woman came up to me and started having a go at me, you know, for recording. And I said, I'm not recording, I'm on a video call. And she said, well, it's still the same thing. It's still showing things on the camera or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not saved. It's not recorded forever. Once I end the call, that's it, gone. There's nothing saved. You know, no footage saved of people's faces. But she still insisted that I shouldn't do it anyway. And it's like, but if he was there, he would be able to see the same things as he can see in the camera. It doesn't make any sense. The logic is just out of this world. I'm telling you, I think I'm the only normal person left on the planet, really, and my mum, because she thinks the same way, that this is all ridiculous. And my other friend TK, he saw the painting of, thinks it's all ridiculous as well. It's just full of weird. Sorry, but they're weird. All these people are weird. The people who get all upset about minor things, plus getting upset on somebody else's behalf. Because here's the other point I wanted to make. The other point I want to make is that this manager that I spoke to yesterday is getting offended on someone else's behalf. Now, this person is not transgender or a part of the LGBT community, as far as I know. I mean, I could be wrong, she might be, but she never said so. So I'm assuming she's not. But for some reason, she's getting offended on a transgender's behalf. Again, if I'd have gone up to this person, and this is more obvious crime, this is something I could accept being banned for and getting in trouble for, okay? If I'd have gone up to this trans woman and acted transphobic, as in saying, oh, it's disgusting, oh, it's stupid, you know, if I was actually insulting her for being transgender and saying, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a scenario that really would be offensive. And again, if you're hearing this, don't think that I'm really saying this, okay? This is just me giving an example. But if I actually went up, or even just in passing, whether I say it in passing or going up to this person and said, oh, are you transgender? Oh, you're a man. Oh, you dress as a woman. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, you should accept being a man. You're a man, and that's that. You know, if I'd have gone like that, I could kind of understand, like, them saying I was transphobic and offensive, because that is offensive. That is hurtful. You know, I could understand that. Like, that was actually hurtful. Like, me saying that, even as an example. I can imagine, like, the outrage of that. But me just saying, yeah, I think that's a man, just like wondering. That's not offensive. The fact that she, and again, I understand this, it's all relative, it's all individual, okay? So she got offended by that. That's fair enough. To her, me saying that is offensive because she identifies as a woman and she wants to be seen as a woman. So the fact that I've recognized her as a man, like being biologically male, transitioning as a female, I can understand why she personally would get offended by that, because I would, if I'm trying to sort of identify as a male, which I am, and someone misgenders me and says I look like a woman, that is kind of like, it's kind of disappointing that no matter how much you try to come across as the gender that you want to come across as, and you realize that it's not happening. So I understand why the person's upset, but again, it's not offensive technically, as in you can't get someone banned for it. You can't go running to staff members of a shop and say, this person misgendered me. This person wondered if I was a man. It's like, that is not offensive. I mean, I can't even say that she was like, what's the word? Like exaggerating, like lying, saying that I said something worse than I actually did, because they actually saw it on the live stream. So they did actually hear it as I was actually saying it. So she wasn't exaggerating it. And I think I even said on the stream, it is private now, again for my safety. I made the stream private because I didn't want to get any shitty backlash from anyone, especially because I thought, for all I know, she's got like 1 million LGBT friends that are going to come at me or something for it. Luckily that's not happened. But actually I was more worried about like Morrison's still being dickheads. But I forgot what I was saying. Damn. Oh yeah, I said something like, you know, that I thought it was cool if she was, and I accept her. If it is a man dressing as a woman and wanting to identify, I did understand, and I did, you know, I thought it was cool. I said I wouldn't mind like talking to her or like be friends with her. I said stuff like that. But if you want proof of evidence, I could always get that bit up. I could upload that part because I bet, you know, they're just focusing on the bad stuff, you know, supposed bad stuff. There was actually something I did say that I could understand being offensive. I did kind of criticize the particular outfit that she chose, so I could understand that being seen as offensive, but they didn't focus on that part. They just focused on the fact that I misgendered her. She didn't focus on, you know, the fact that I did kind of criticize the way she dressed a little. I will admit I did. I just said, you know, if it is a man dressing as a woman, I think she should wear dresses. That's what I said. I said something like that. I said something about her, you know, her having like more my mum's sort of figure, because my mum does have that sort of figure like she had. So I said something like that. But they didn't fixate on that part. Like, I can understand them saying that's offensive. Like, criticizing the way she was dressing. I just said something like she's not dressing for her body shape. Something like that. Like, she should dress a certain way. But they didn't, you know, they didn't focus on that. But I can understand that being, like, more outraged, to be more outraged by that. But that's not what they focused on. So they didn't focus on the real issue, and they didn't focus on the good things I also said as well. They just focused on that one thing. That's also annoying. And you know what? People misgender me all the time, but do I get any sort of people acting like that? No. And the other thing that she said was that it's a regular customer. Oh, this is another point. She said it was regular customer. She said it twice. First in the beginning, and then nearer the end. And I said, well, I'm a regular customer. I've been coming here since I was about 4 years old with my mum. And coming throughout until like now. I've been going on my own for the past 3 years, at least before I was banned last year. So I said, you're saying that this person is more valuable than me. And then she started saying that was offensive. I just said something like, you know, along the lines of her getting special treatment because she's transgender. And she said that was offensive. Probably. She didn't even say it like she knew for sure. She said that's probably offensive too. And what you just said is probably offensive. So she doesn't even know. I'm like, why are you Are you transgender yourself? Are you part of the LGBT community? Why are you so outraged anyway? Because you shouldn't understand this stuff enough to see it as an insult. Because I get transgender people do see it as an insult if you misgender them. Fair enough, that's how they feel. But a cisgendered person shouldn't know this stuff in order to get offended by them. Except knowing as in they've heard about it, but not knowing as in actually knowing and empathizing because they feel the same way. So she shouldn't know how offended they get in order to sort of like say it's as bad as calling someone a slag or a dickhead or an arsehole or an ugly piece of shit. Because those are offensive insults. Saying someone looks like a man or a woman isn't an insult. I mean, I will admit though, my mum got my dad called my mum said so she wore this particular dress, and my dad said that she looked like a man in drag, and she did get a little bit offended by that. She wouldn't wear that dress anymore because she didn't like the thought of looking like a man in drag, because my mum's a woman and she wants to look like a woman, not a man or a man in drag, so my mum did get a little bit upset about that. So I do admit, but it's not like proper offensive. It's not on the same level. I'm afraid, no matter whether anyone likes it or not, it's not on the same level as calling someone a slag, a dickhead, a piece of shit, a muthafuka. Sorry. I mean, like I say, I got called a woman yesterday, and I get this lady this and this lady that a lot. But I don't go ballistic about it. I'm not happy about it, but I don't go so ballistic that I want to ban them from a shop or ban them from the street, because it's usually on a street or a bus. It's usually like, if they want like their child or someone to get out of my way because they're in my way, they'll say, mind this lady. I've had that. And to be honest with you, I don't like it because first of all, it makes me feel like 100. I know it shouldn't. But when people say this lady, for some reason, it makes me think that, right, it makes me sound like, not 100 really, I'm exaggerating, but it makes me feel like an older woman, as in like 30s plus, instead of like a young person. So, and I realize it's ridiculous. Being called a lady is not an insult. So I'm offended by it, but I recognize it's my problem because this person is not meaning to offend me. And I didn't mean to offend this trans person at Morrison's. See, it's the intent, they always keep saying it's the meaning behind what you're saying that counts. I mean, people call people dickheads all the time, but it's all in good fun, it's banter, so people don't get offended by it. But if you say, oh, you're dickhead, you're actually having a go at someone, then they take it as though it's an insult. But it depends how you're saying a thing. If you're meaning to insult, it's like people automatically assume when I record, children in particular, they think, oh, paedophile, you're not supposed to be recording because it means you're a paedophile. It's like, no. If I've recorded children in the past, it's been because I think they look cute or something, or because they're doing something innocent, interesting. They're doing something interesting or entertaining, It's just something I'm commenting on. Or usually like if they're like dressed in a cute little outfit or whatever. Or I just think if they're like a teenager or something, like say a teenage girl and they're sort of dressed in a cool outfit, I might record because I think they look nice. I've done that in the past. I don't do that anymore, but I have done that in the past. And it's like, I'm not doing it for sexual perversion reasons. I'm doing it because I just think they look nice, or they're doing something. Because, people record all the time. They record if there's something going on. I've seen videos up on YouTube of people recording other people because they look nice, or they're dressed in a weird outfit or a really nice, unusual outfit. And when incidents happen, I see people recording kids or teenagers because things are happening, and they post them online so anyone can see them. But that's okay apparently. But when I do it, it's like wrong. It's like stupid. You can't say these all can record because this, that, and the other, but I can't record because it's somehow different. That's another thing that's crazy. Let's see, we got a new comment. Why are people so scared of a video recorder? I work in retail, and one lady was live streaming on TikTok or something. I was like, can I? See, that's how normal people react, isn't it? Like, they want to be famous. Most people want to be famous. So why would people get upset about being on camera? That's first thing. I love being in people's videos. Okay, so that's my other point. My other point is, and I said this to my friend when she was agreeing with me about stuff. Another thing is, people are being recorded all the time with CCTV, whether it's on the street or in stores. So what does it matter if I record? You don't know what's happening to those. I mean, they tell you that nothing happens to those videos that they get of you on CCTV. But they might be getting your photographs to store in their database so that they can find all the info that they need about you. And even if they don't have any info, they've got your face. So they can kind of keep tabs on you. Because how did they know to ban me? These people are different from the ones from last year that are coming at me saying I'm banned. So how would they know except by describing me? No, they won't have done that. They will have had a photograph of me from their CCTV and said, this person's banned because last year this person did da-da-da-da-da-da. I get if it was in an immediate sort of thing and they pointed me out at the time and said, that's the person, ban them, you know. But no, this is a year ago, a different manager, different some of the other staff, a different security guard, and they knew to ban me. Like when they came in, they were at the cafe, they were informed because someone phoned someone else up and informed them that I was banned. Like, how did they know that I was the person that was banned from a year ago? How would they know that unless they've personally seen me? They won't have done. So they will have had a photograph that they've shown from CCTV. And they've probably got, you know, videos of me doing whatever it is that they don't like. So they always have proof of evidence of when someone does something wrong, so to speak. And that's the thing that I find unfair. I'm not allowed to have recordings for my own records or for proof of evidence to say, actually, this is what happened. No, I don't get to do that. I'm not allowed, but they're allowed to have recordings for proof of evidence of people doing stuff wrong. Now, that's an unfair advantage. Them having CCTV is unfair. Because they have you on their records to blame you. So they can pass it on to the next people. And so on and so forth. Or to say, yeah, this person said and did this. Look, I've got it on camera. But that's okay because they're allowed to have CCTV. But I'm not allowed to have my own proof of evidence from my own recordings. Because obviously if I admitted I was recording, they'd go mad. But sometimes you need recordings as proof. And that woman, you know, when I told her about what happened last year, about how it was actually the recording that the previous manager was upset about and said, if I do it again, I'll be banned, which I didn't. I did heed his word and didn't record after that. You know, he told me I'm not allowed to record, so I didn't again. You know, I didn't do it again. He told me I'd be banned if I recorded. And all she could, when I said that, the only thing that she focused on was, am I recording now? And it's like, well, no, obviously not, because I've been told not to record or I'd get banned, you know, if I did it again. So obviously I'm not doing it because I've been given a warning and I'm not doing it again. Oh, which brings me to my next point, and that is I should be given a second chance. Because it's such a minor issue, this. As in, I've not verbally abused someone, I've not physically fought them, I've not stolen, and I've not, like I say, given anyone any proper grief, as in staff or customers, which is the only time that they should intervene anyway, is if it was a physical fight or a physical sort of proper like shouting match or something, then staff members get involved. But because it's like me saying a passing comment, as far as I'm concerned, if the other person got offended, that's their problem. It's not the staff's problem. So that's another point I wanted to make. And the other point is, because it's such a minor incident, it should have been a warning. I think I should have been let off with a warning. Okay, so we're not happy that you said this about that person or that you recorded, but if you do it again, and it should be a 3-strike thing anyway, it should be you know, you get 2 more chances. And of course, I wouldn't push the 3 chances, obviously. If they tell me once, I'll stop doing it. But instant ban, I think that's overboard. And or so 2 options is give me 3 chances, like say we'll let you off this time, but if you do it again, that's strike 2. If you do it again, you're banned. You know, I think they should have done that system, or apologize and we'll let it slide. Okay, fine. You know, I would do that if they just said, like, you know, for me to apologize first. But if I do it again, strike 2. Or ban me, but just for a bit, like not forever. Like ban me for a month or a few months or something. It's not a permanent ban offence for definite. But I kept saying that, but she kept saying it is, it's offensive, it's bad, it is a bannable offence, blah, blah, blah. I think what she means is it's because the person complained about it. You know, like if they didn't complain about it, they would have probably let it slide. Or if she didn't get as upset about it, they would have let it slide. But because of how much she dramatised it, that's why they took action. It must have been about that. It must have been how she must have gone crying to staff. Now, when I saw her, she was fine. You know, she did the whole shocked face thing, but she didn't cry. She didn't get all upset. But that's what she must have done. She must have absolutely gone to the staff all upset, crying her eyes out, bawling her head off. And yeah, I mean, my friend said in her voice message to me that the staff, you know, might not know that she's trans. So how could they get offended? But they do know she's trans because apparently she's a regular customer. And it was the manager that did inform me that she was trans, but I wasn't sure about it. And I said I didn't know. Yeah, I don't know what people's beef is with being recorded anyway. I suppose I get that stores say don't do it because they probably think, well, some customers might not like it. So you shouldn't be going around videoing customers. I don't know, different stores have different policies, so I get that that store's policy is you're not supposed to record inside. You know. I looked it up online anyway. I told you this, I looked it up online about, you know, is it illegal or bad or whatever to record? And it says it's not, but certain, you know, shops, supermarkets and malls might just have their own policy of, you know, no recording in the store or whatever, which I get. You know, I suppose you are supposed to adhere to each individual premises rules, but out on the street it's free range. So when people have a go at me on the street for recording, you know, then it's like, I mean, I told you about that other incident where these kids told me it was illegal. And again, I looked it up and it says it's not illegal. It's not illegal to even record kids. I was told it was by somebody. I think it was actually a policewoman that said it was, you're not allowed. She didn't say it was illegal, but she said you're not allowed to record children. And I've got to delete it, you know, this video, because I had a child in it. I was recording because of the uproar of people having a go at my mum at the time, and I happened to get a child in the video because I was recording the people that were having a go, and there just happened to be a child there. So, you know, I said to the policewoman that I've got a video of the incident, but she was not interested in seeing the video. As soon as she found out there was a child in the video, she said she just had a go at that and said, if there's a child in the video, you've got to delete it. And he was like, oh, right, so you don't want to see the proof of evidence of people having a go at my mum? I'm pushing her. Like, someone smacked my mum in the face, do it like that, and pushed my mum backwards. So she didn't want to see the evidence of that. She was only asked about the fact that I got a child in the video. So, and the police person basically, even though we had like a load of people ganging up on my mum for no reason, the police person was only interested in that and only interested in having to go at us. So, but yeah, I've looked it up and it actually says that it is not illegal to record children. And that the article said that these people are out in public, including children, then they can expect to be recorded by anyone, whether it be CCTV or individuals with cameras and phones. That's what it says. It says people can't get upset about that because it's a public place. And basically, suck it up, you're going to get recorded. That's what the article actually said, like pretty much like that. Thought, oh, I've got to save this. Because if anyone has a go at me again for recording in a public place, I can show them that or quote it. But yeah, I found a few different ones. So yeah, so far it's just individuals that have told me it's wrong or bad or illegal to record children or people or whatever. But the actual articles online say it's not, it's fine, you know. So these people are basically just trying to lie and manipulate you into being, you know, convincing you that what you're doing is wrong when you're actually not. Anyway, so now let's go back to the bit that I said about that woman, the manager, saying that what I said was offensive when I said about that person being more valuable than me. Because I, you know, she was saying about how she was a regular customer, and I said about how I'm a regular customer. So you're saying that she's more valuable to you because, you know, she's transgender and she's like protected. And she said that was offensive, and I'm like, no, what I mean is to you, valuable to you as a customer. Like, you know, you prefer this customer to this customer. It was nothing about gender or anything like that. It's just a genderless customer. You prefer that customer. You favour that customer over this customer, who have both been loyal, regular customers over the years. That's all I was trying to get at. The fact that it is true, and that, you know, trans people and LGBT and other minorities are usually favoured because they're a protected group. So, say for instance, I'm pretty sure, because they obviously have it into their heads that I'm not transgender or anything similar. So let's just go with that as an example. So if I was to go and complain to the staff about someone, I don't think that they would take it as seriously. Even if I said, oh, this customer called me a slag or something, I don't think they'd be that arsed. I can guarantee that if they said that I look like this, that, the other, whatever it is, like I said about this person, I'm pretty sure they'd say, well, that's between you and that customer. It's not really our department. If you have a you know, basically a problem, if you have a gripe with this person, it's kind of between you and them. It's not really, you know, unless it was like a proper, like where they're harassing me or something. I don't think they'd really be asked if a customer called me a name or we had a bit of a squabble or a tiff. It would indeed be between the two customers. It's not really the staff's business. And I'm pretty sure if I went to staff and said something about another customer, if they offended me, I'm pretty sure that's what they'd tell me. I just can't imagine, because there's been a couple of times, not at that particular place, but at other shops, whereby I have complained to the staff about another person bothering me. And I've not really been that bothered. First of all, at the convenience store here, I told you about this in yesterday's stream, that I was being harassed by kids in the shop at the time. As in, they were there and they were howling at me and, you know, going on with themselves about me and calling me Wolfie and stuff. Right there, in front of the owner. But all the owner was bothered about was the fact that a customer at some point has come in and informed him that I was live streaming in the shop. So he was kind of like telling me off about that and telling me he'd rather me not do it. He was only bothered about that. He wasn't bothered about the fact that I was being harassed right there and then by kids. He never told them to back off or stop. Oh, and then in the same shop, I actually got threatened by that mole woman I told you about, who accused me of abusing and killing off our previous dog. That woman I told you about, that I do actually have on video or live stream or something, twice of her having a go at me. I had one on a live stream and one was on a video, but I can't remember if I actually uploaded it. But yeah, I'm gonna check. I'm glad you're on my side. Hooray! Nothing to fear if you've done nothing to hide. I'm just gonna see if it's on here. I can't remember which. I think I actually recorded it with this one. I'm not really sure. But anyway, that happened in the shop, and like I say, she really did. She threatened me as well. And no one cared. No one was on my side. The woman who witnessed it all, that works there, just kept quiet. Like I was ranting a little bit about it, and she just stayed quiet. Wasn't on my side at all. And nobody came to interfere. Like the people who, I think the owner was actually there at the time when it was happening. None of them came to see what was going on and try and break up the argument at all, even if they didn't know who was in the right or wrong. So, like I say, nobody was bothered when I'm the one who gets people being dickheads towards me. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. No, I don't have the video, darn. I do have another video, though, I'd like to discuss. I think I must have uploaded it to YouTube. Whether I put it as public, I don't know. It's a possibility I recorded it with this phone. Hey, look, I'm live right now. I can watch myself live streaming and be a viewer for a change. Okay, I'll look in my library and we'll see if I can find it, because I do have some commentary on that as well. Well, she said... So how the conversation went is she was in line at the post office in front of me. Okay. I was behind her. And she was on the phone to someone. She said, just a minute. She put the phone down a minute. And she got near me and she said, if you nod your head again, I'm going to put you on the floor, which means basically I'm going to knock you out. In this language. You know, this around my area language. So I already sort of figured out that she was the one who probably reported us to the RSPCA about the dog thing, even though I told her what happened with the dog. I said, how dare you, or whatever. And that's how it kind of started. And she said something like... She basically said something like as if it wasn't her that reported me, but like, you know, good. Like she said, good. Like someone should report you for it. or whatever. And I said, I told you what happened. I said he got old, he got ill. The vet said there's nothing they could do and put him down, you know, so on and so forth. I've got details in earlier videos. I'm not going to reiterate it now. But basically, he died of health issues, not because he was fucking abused. But she accused me of abusing the dog for the second time, even though I explained everything, what happened regarding the dog. And I said something among. She said, every dog you have." And I didn't say what I should have said, which was, you know what happened with our previous dog. Same thing. He got old. He got ill. Because people, he got worse actually, because people were fucking poisoning him, because people were feeding him chocolate and other things he shouldn't be eating. So that's what happened with that dog, because people saw he was a bit skinny, and they kept feeding him, but he was on a special diet by the vet, which was chicken and rice. And even though there was a sign saying don't feed the dog, because he's on a special diet by the vet, and he's under a vet and everything, people kept putting food at the gate, knowing that he came to the gate and he would eat it. Because despite the fact that we tried to train him not to go to the gate, he still was always tempted to go, probably because people fucking feed him. So he would go to the gate. So he would eat shit that people fed him, and that contributed to his health problems. But anyway, regarding that, so when I was about, so he died, Baldric, our previous dog, not the most recent dog, the previous dog that she was talking about, every dog you have, all 2 dogs. Baldric died when I was about 15 or 16. And then we got JD not long after that, because somebody actually gave him to us. Baldric died. He was about 12 or 13 years old when he died, which is a dog's lifespan is 12 years. Some of them can live longer, but 12 years is the average lifespan of a dog. So he lived 12 to 13 years, but he died of health issues, because he had allergies and other health issues. Some of them caused by old age, some of them he just had them anyway because, you know, it was just hereditary or whatever, you know, it was just his, you get that. I think he had a heart problem, he had other allergies and stuff, so he always had runny eyes and stuff. So he did look a bit of a mess, but it was from allergies. He had hay fever and allergy to grasses and stuff. And then a few years later, when I was about 17, so remember the dog has been dead now for probably about 2 to 3 years. That's when the hooligans started harassing us relentlessly again. And I remember one of them was Mole Woman's daughter, and she was actually bullying Facebook. And at no point did she say anything about the dog. But I don't know how we actually got in touch, but the sister of Mole Woman got in touch with me, and she was actually on my side. She was like a mediator between us. And I was telling her about what her niece was doing, you know, coming with her friends and harassing me. So she said, you know, she'll find out, she'll talk to her niece and find out why they're harassing me and my mum. And when she got back to me, she said the reason why her niece is harassing us is because they think that we abused and killed our previous dog Baldric, which, like I say, died 3 years previous. And it's yeah, but why now? They would have harassed us all them years ago when it first happened if it was about that. But anyway, I explained what happened regarding that. Again, told her that he was under a vet. You know, he was old, he had health issues, and he actually died of a heart attack because he was afraid of thunder and lightning. And it was a stormy night the night he died, and he got panicked and he had a heart attack. So that's what happened there. So I explained all of this. I said he was under a vet. You know, there was letters and all sorts of proof of evidence of him being under the vet, and his there was a letter stating that, you know, he's got to be on this chicken and rice diet and pasta. That was his diet. Chicken, rice, and pasta. That's all he was allowed to eat. So, yes. So we told them all. I told that, her, all of that to pass on to them, the niece and her mother. This woman's sister, obviously. She's more woman. The one that has a go at me. Let's continue looking for this. Yeah. It didn't matter though. We were still relentlessly harassed even after that, but eventually they did come and make peace. So that was good. But I guess she's forgotten all this now because, like I say, she's still accusing me, apparently. Even though I was a sort of child back then. But accusing me, apparently, of abusing both dogs. But yeah, instead of explaining all that, I guess I didn't really say it. I should have done. And then some part later, I said it was you that probably got them kids to come and harass us. And she said, "Oh no, that's because you're weird." Basically saying it's not her that got them to harass us. And she went, "What's that got to do with you abusing dogs?" And the thing it had to do was the fact that because they think that I, abused both dogs, apparently, that's why she sent those kids to harass us for abusing the dog. Do you know what I mean? So that's what it had to do with that. Oh, there's the one I think that's one at Morrison's there. Here we go. Crazy woman trying to intimidate me again. That's actually not public.
Keep watching. So I pray the rosary every morning, and it's helped me find peace.
We've got to watch an advert first. You know what? I don't mind because it's my video. I'm monetizing my video at the moment.
Once you're in the app, go to video.
But I'm going to skip anyway. It's gone. So it's not public. Hang on. It's not public actually, but it is on YouTube. That's her. I won't show it actually because I'm not supposed to be recording the post office, so sorry about that. It's to do with the post office, why the owner of that shop. But you've got to, here we go. You've got to see this.
Me coming in the shop and I'll floor you.
I'll floor you, sorry.
I know.
Oh shit. I'm trying not to show it. I'm so sorry, I'm very bad at this. I was trying to show her. 1, 2.
Just hang on 1 minute.
Here we go.
Nod your head again at me coming in the shop and I'll floor you.
Did you hear what she said?
How dare you report me?
You're the weird one. Have you told you it? He was old.
He's sick.
He had liver disease.
Hang on. I'm trying to get the bit.
Coming in the shop and I'll floor you. You see what you did to the dog?
I told you it. He was old.
He's sick.
He had liver disease.
He's sick.
Not our fault.
What, every dog you have?
See, she's not letting me talk. I said I've already explained everything to do with that, and she would not let me talk. Trying to get the bit where she said.
Again at me.
No, I can't get the
How
bit.
dare you report me?
Oh, you'll just
I know
have to
it was
watch
you.
this bit.
I told you the deal with
I
the
would
dog.
report you.
I would
See
report.
what you did to the dog.
I
He's
told
sick.
you it. He was old.
He's sick.
He had liver disease.
He's sick.
Not our fault.
What, every dog you have?
Every
Starved
dog.
to death.
Every dog. Excuse.
She said, "Fuck you." I think she said "fuck you" before she. I don't really want to show it because I'm not supposed to be recording the shop. But this is why I didn't put it public, because I thought if the owner of that shop sees it, he's not going to be happy. But I was only recording it for the incident and to show it was her, like having a go at me. I'm not trying to record the shop. I'm trying to show you the incident. So if he sees this, because I'm presuming, because it's not him that sees it, I don't think. So there's somebody who watches my streams that informs other people of my streams and videos. So
Excuse me.
Every dog.
every
I
day,
don't know what you're talking about.
Every
Yeah, it
dog.
was you last time as well.
Sick in the head.
sick in the head.
Idiot. disgusting weird. And it was you who turned all these stupid kids around to come to our house
Have a
and do
go.
what they did.
You're weird. You're sick.
You're the weird one. Have you seen the state of yourself?
See, that's not. I wish I hadn't said stuff like that. I wish I'd said stuff like, you know, because he said, "What's that got to do with me abusing dogs?" And I wish I'd said something like, "It's everything to do with you because you sent them all to harassers." But did you hear that? I said they harass you because you're weird and you're sick. Got to see that again.
It was you last time as well.
Sick in the head.
Idiot. Disgusting weird. And it was you who turned all these stupid kids around.
See, I shouldn't have said all that stuff, like the insults and stuff. Just the facts. Because I guess it makes me as bad as them, but I just didn't know what to say at the time, and I was just annoyed. So it's hard to know really what to say when you're kind of annoyed.
To come to our house and do what they did.
Harassers.
Weird.
Something about me being weird. Can I zoom in? Because I'm trying not to see the shop. Oh, I can zoom in. I don't mind if you see her. I don't even care if she sees this, to be honest. Oh, good lord. And she calls me the sick and weird one, jeez. And you know, the kids around here, you know, they call me scary. That is the most scariest human being, if you can call it that, on the planet. Why the kids don't, you know, think she's weird and scary, I don't know. Alright, maybe, I didn't see these. I'm on your side. Yeah, I saw that bit. Thank you. I appreciate that. That village where you live seems to be full of bad people. It is. Maybe it would be better to move to bigger city. My mum said bigger cities are dangerous. I have to go now, but it was most pleasant to speak with you this evening. Look after yourself. Okay, I'll see you guys later then. Yeah. Anyway, so you know what happened with the dog? And the fact that she's like... I'm going to take a screenshot of that just in case, you never know. But yeah, she's the most terrifying person I've ever witnessed. And like I say, you heard that she threatened me in that video. She said, "I'm going to floor you." She said something about me nodding my head at her, which I didn't do, by the way. I shook my head. I didn't nod. I shook my head because I figured it was her that reported us about the dog. And just so you know what happened with that, the RSPCA did come round. I explained the situation, and he once again said that, yeah, it seems like they have a vendetta against you. They didn't say the word vendetta, but it's like, there's another word for it. It's like vendetta, but I can't think of the word. Fluffball. Feast. I honestly thought I zoomed in, but I didn't. I was trying to put it on this. As you can see, it's very, Puffball looks extremely rounded today. Not the cutest thing. Maybe it would be better to move. Well, you know the situation with that. I would move if I could, but I can't. I'm just in the most awkward situation in the world. It's a thing, really, because I think it was Base Charman that said it, but I was thinking this years ago. It was something about if you don't do something about your future or whatever, fate will decide for you. And I used to think this about my situation. I thought it was taking me an awful long time to come up with a career choice and a choice of what I wanted to do for a living and what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I figured that because it was taking me such a long time and I wasn't like moving out or anything, that fate decided I would be a carer for my mum instead, so that I'm doing something sort of useful in the world. So I do kind of regret not moving out like most people would do, like when they're 18, like as soon as they're of legal age, they opt to move out. Or I think it's like, I think it's 16 here, but 16 does seem to still be quite young. So 18. But yeah, I guess it's, Dean, I guess Dean's gone, but he didn't say bye. He didn't say. He's just left. Sean said see you later, but Dean didn't. It says I've only got one person viewing, so I'm presuming that's Issa. He said about my art, didn't he? He said, am I still working on my art? Well, yes, I'm trying to do a little bit every day. Not the realistic ones at the moment. I know you are, but Dean isn't. Clearly. Full breakfast. There we go. Hey, you guys. Yeah, if you want to complain to Morrison's on my behalf, there's the information. Go to town. I said as I left, I said, I bet you wouldn't ban people for actually verbally abusing. You would, they? Didn't answer me. Disgusting behaviour. And no, the answer to that is no, they wouldn't, because they know that if they went after the the hooligan types, to send all their mates to them, go and vandalise the shop probably. But they know, they assume I'm not going to be able to do jack shit about it. So that's why they target me for banning, because they assume I'm not going to do anything about it. I think they can, my mum said it last night. She said, these people, they look for people that they can target, so. And I guess they think that I'm that person that they feel that they can target for whatever reason. They think that I'm not gonna, by the way I look, I don't know, that I'm not gonna give them a hard time. So they target me. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Now I think I've got to do dinner. So I've got to hurry up with that because I've not even started it and it's nearly 8 o'clock. So I'm gonna go for now. Do-de-do. Do-do-do-do. Do. And you're welcome for the stream. I'll see you again soon. And I'll see you all again soon. Thanks for watching, even though there's nobody watching now. Only one person, I mean. Nobody else.